All right, let's dive straight in. First up, a Texas woman, Susan Mayfield, is speaking out after falling victim to a devastating Bitcoin ATM scam, losing over $32,000. Scammers posing as Microsoft and Federal Reserve officials convinced her to withdraw cash and deposit it into a Bitcoin ATM, all under the guise of protecting her funds. We'll unpack how this elaborate scheme unfolded and what authorities are saying about recovering her lost fortune. Next, we're talking stocks. QMMM Holdings just saw an absolutely insane surge, popping over 1,700% on a massive crypto treasury bet involving Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. But hold on, the rally cooled off fast after hours. We've got the details on this wild ride and what it means for companies looking to add digital assets to their balance sheets, following in the footsteps of giants like Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy. Then, the SEC is making waves again, delaying a decision on Grayscale's Hedera Trust listing. This comes as Grayscale also updated filings for its Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin trusts. We're digging into why the commission is taking more time and what this pattern of delays means for the flood of upcoming crypto ETF applications, from Bitcoin to Solana and beyond. And finally, a deep dive into the future of Bitcoin. Tiger Research has dropped a comprehensive report on the emerging BTCFi ecosystem, comparing it to the early days of Ethereum DeFi. They've analyzed 10 major BTCFi projects to give us a clear picture of where this is heading. Will this be the next big frontier for institutional investors? Stick around to find out, and make sure you're subscribed and hitting that bell. Bitcoin ATM scam leaves Texas woman devastated. This is a wake-up call for everyone. A Texas woman, Susan Mayfield, has lost a staggering $32,800 in a sophisticated Bitcoin ATM scam. The 76-year-old retiree was targeted by scammers who impersonated Microsoft support, claiming her computer was hacked and her bank account was at risk. They instructed her to withdraw her money and deposit it into a Bitcoin ATM, a tactic designed to make the funds untraceable. Susan Mayfield initially received a pop-up alert on her laptop, directing her to call a fraudulent number. The scammer on the line convinced her that hackers were draining her bank account and that the only way to secure her funds was to withdraw cash immediately. Following their instructions, she cashed out $15,000 from one bank and $17,800 from another. She was then directed to a fast-track convenience store in Lake Dallas to deposit the entire sum into a Bitcoin ATM. "I could not believe I had fallen for it," Mayfield recounted, expressing her shock and regret. Things escalated when other scammers, posing as Federal Reserve officials with fake IDs, contacted Mayfield again. They instructed her to withdraw even larger sums from her investment accounts and purchase gold bars. It was at this point, realizing the sheer scale of the deception, that Mayfield understood she had been thoroughly duped. She recalled a similar scam in Garland where a victim lost $25,000, though in that case, authorities were able to make an arrest. Unfortunately, the FBI notes that recovering funds lost through Bitcoin transactions is extremely difficult due to the pseudo-anonymous nature of cryptocurrency. Mayfield has filed a report with the Federal Trade Commission, hoping her story will serve as a crucial warning to others. "If it can happen to me, it can happen to them," she urged, emphasizing the severity of this life lesson. The FBI advises the public to never call numbers from suspicious alerts and always contact financial institutions directly using independently verified contact information. Don't get caught in the next wave of crypto crime. Stay informed. Coming up next, we've got a stock that exploded with a 1,700% gain thanks to a massive crypto treasury bet. QMMM Holdings skyrockets 1,736% on crypto treasury gamble. Get ready for a wild one. QMMM Holdings Limited saw its stock price absolutely explode, surging an unbelievable 1,736% during regular trading hours. This massive rally was fueled by the company's bold announcement to establish a $100 million cryptocurrency treasury, specifically targeting Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. The company also revealed plans for a crypto-autonomous ecosystem, blending AI and blockchain. This Hong Kong-based digital media and virtual apparel company's move puts it in the company of other under-the-radar firms capitalizing on digital asset volatility by adding them to their balance sheets. This strategy was famously popularized by Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy, which holds a significant amount of Bitcoin. QMMM's ambitious plan aims to create a new ecosystem, pushing the boundaries of what's possible with decentralized technologies. However, the exhilarating rally took a sharp turn in after-hours trading, with QMMM shares plummeting nearly 60%. Despite the volatile reversal, the stock reached an intraday high of $303, marking an astonishing 2,588.55% gain at one point. At the close of regular trading, QMMM Holdings was valued at an impressive $11.84 billion. The year-to-date performance for QMMM is nothing short of spectacular, up by a jaw-dropping 16,071.88%. Analysts are closely watching QMMM's trajectory, noting its exceptionally high momentum score. This dramatic price action highlights the extreme volatility and potential rewards associated with companies making significant bets on cryptocurrencies. The market is buzzing with discussions about whether QMMM can sustain any of its gains or if this was a speculative frenzy. The contrast between its peak performance and subsequent drop serves as a stark reminder of the risks involved in this rapidly evolving market. Will this crypto treasury strategy pay off for QMMM in the long run? Stay tuned as we break down the SEC's latest move that could impact the future of crypto investments. SEC delays Grayscale Hedera Trust decision amid filings update. Big news from the regulatory front. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, has officially delayed its decision on whether to approve Grayscale's bid to list its Hedera Trust on the Nasdaq. This delay, with a new deadline set for November 12, comes just as Grayscale filed updated registration statements for its Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin trusts. These filings, submitted on Form S3, indicate that these existing funds will continue their reporting to the SEC, with Bank of New York Mellon as administrator and Coinbase as custodian and prime broker, aiming for listing on NYSE Arca. This latest postponement is part of a growing pattern of extended review periods by the SEC for crypto-related investment products. Grayscale has filed a separate Form S1 for the Hedera Trust, which would trade under the ticker HBAR, contingent on Nasdaq's rule change request. Under securities law, the SEC typically has 180 days to decide on such rule changes, with the option to extend by another 60 days for further review. This isn't an isolated incident. In August, the SEC used its final extension for Solana ETF applications, pushing the deadline to October 16. Similar extensions were granted for applications from Bitwise, 21 Shares, Canary Funds, and Marinade Finance. With over 90 crypto ETF applications pending, spanning Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP, the fall is shaping up to be a critical period for regulatory decisions. The market is keenly watching to see if the SEC will broaden its approvals beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum, which were greenlit last year. Industry experts like Lionel Uruk of Empire Legal note that assets facing near-term ETF decisions often see premium pricing. He explains that an ETF wrapper provides essential compliance, custody, and transparency frameworks that traditional investors require, thereby amplifying appeal beyond the crypto-native audience. This structured, regulated approach is seen as a key factor in transitioning crypto from speculative enthusiasm to institutional-grade offerings. Will these delays pave the way for more regulated crypto products? Next, we're diving into the future of Bitcoin and what institutions are really looking for. Tiger Research unveils BTCFi Frontier, Bitcoin's next evolution. Get ready to explore the next frontier in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Tiger Research has just released a groundbreaking four-part series report analyzing the burgeoning BTCFi, Bitcoin Decentralized Finance, ecosystem. After a 5-week deep dive and direct collaboration with 10 major BTCFi projects, this report offers unprecedented clarity on an emerging landscape that many believe is on the cusp of an explosive growth phase, mirroring the early days of Ethereum's DeFi revolution. The core insight driving this analysis is a shift in institutional demand. Beyond simply holding Bitcoin, major players are now looking for ways to generate yield on their BTC holdings, much like they can with Ethereum. This demand is precisely what's creating the massive opportunity for BTCFi. Tiger Research argues that the decisions made today within the BTCFi space will fundamentally shape the next decade of Bitcoin's evolution and its role in the broader financial world. The report meticulously breaks down the BTCFi ecosystem into key components. Why DeFi on Bitcoin is inevitable. Inside the infrastructure layer of BTCFi, breaking down the asset and custodian layer of BTCFi, and mapping the protocol layer. This comprehensive approach aims to equip investors and developers with the knowledge needed to navigate and capitalize on this rapidly developing sector before it reaches mainstream adoption. Industry observers are highlighting the significance of this report, emphasizing that understanding the BTCFi landscape now is crucial for anyone looking to position themselves for future gains. The comparison to early Ethereum DeFi is particularly compelling, suggesting that the potential for innovation and value creation is immense. Tiger Research's detailed analysis is being hailed as an essential guide for navigating the complexities and opportunities within this exciting new chapter for Bitcoin. Is BTCFi the future of Bitcoin, or just another hype cycle? We'll wrap up today's show with a lightning-fast recap of all the biggest stories and your chance to win. That's all the time we have for today on Bitcoin Bulletin. Let's do a quick recap. Susan Mayfield lost over $32,000 in a Bitcoin ATM scam. QMMM Holdings saw a wild 1,700% stock surge before cooling off. The SEC delayed decisions on Grayscale trusts, and Tiger Research dropped a massive report on the future of BTCFi. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Bitcoin Bulletin for all your crypto news, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single update, and follow us on all our social channels. We'll see you next time.